This short video is about how to build your capital raising brand. So I was looking in Wikipedia, and a brand is defined as a name, term, design, symbol, or any other feature that identifies one seller's good or service as distinct from those other sellers. So when you're thinking about your capital raise, you've got to think about how do you actually build your capital raising brand? How do you create those defining features that can make you stand out from the other companies that investors are speaking to? We do workshops and we're consistently highlighting that any one time, it's highly likely that an investor could be looking at between 10 to 30 other opportunities, right? So that is your competition. So the question is how do you build your brand? How do you create those defining features that actually make you stand out within seconds? Because it's very, very likely that the investor you're having a conversation with is similar to me and you, where we're borderline ADHD, right? So we've got seconds to capture that attention. So first one is board and team. Now, the easiest way to capture an investor's attention is if you can outline or identify how your board or your team have been there, done that, execution experiences. So have they been through exits? Have they built businesses beforehand? Have they been in senior positions, etc.? The next one is your existing investors that have already participated in your business, because if existing investors have gone in and they're well known in your area, that will be identifiable for a potential investor. They will think to themselves, that's interesting. They've done due diligence on this company and they've also invested into that business. Even if it's a small amount, it doesn't matter. It's still a signal. And you got to think about it. It's a trust or confidence signal for a potential investor. The next one is industry awards. So specifically for the more technical businesses, industry awards are important because it's the industry actually recognizing your innovation, your developments, your achievements, etc. Next one is government grants. So once again, for the more technical businesses that may be pre-revenue, sometimes being able to identify a grant that you are able to receive identifies, that you are the investment that you're going through on the technical side or with your actual product or with your R&D, right? So we do recommend to highlight any grants that you receive. In fact, if you look at ASX listed companies, they often acknowledge or do announcements about grants they receive, even small ones, and the capital they receive from those grants. The next one is a super important one. If you look at Bill Gross's YouTube TED Talk, where he talks about the most defining factor in success in investing in startups, one of the things that he highlights is sector. And we are commonly saying to founders that when your sector is on, when the spotlight is on your business, you have to run hard. In fact, you have to sprint hard, because there's only a short window that we'll all have where our sector is actually in the spotlight of investors. So remember the saying, a rising tide lifts all boats, right? So if your sector is hot, then bring it out in your promotion, right? Typically, we'll have an opportunity to have 5 to 7 key bullet points for our business. This is where we can actually identify in those 5 to 7 key points. And the last one is any metrics. So if there's any relevant metrics for an investor that says, wow, this company's getting traction, then utilize that. I've read a lot of different articles where everyone focuses on just the metrics part, but I can assure you, if you encompass all these 7 different areas, so the board, the team, the investors, awards are one, grants, sector, metrics, etc., all those are super important in actually building your capital raising brand.